great. Right? Fine. So why are you here this morning?
Well, it's a year late. One time it's a day.
Miss Martin, I read your papers there, but there wasn't an agreement to pay you back.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, really? Oh, it's possible.
I mean, when he was given the car, he knew it's responsible.
No. When you originally gave him the car in August of 06, there was no agreement to pay you back, according to you. In October, when you got the September statement, you say Michael promised he would put a check for partial payments in the mail. Did you do that?
Yes,
You put a check in the mail for partial payments?
I did.
How much did you put in?
I sent her $200.
In check or cash?
Well, I sent her a check, but she never got it.
Well, sending her a check, Michael, suggests to me that you acknowledge that this was a debt, despite the fact that there was no original agreement. You could make it part of an agreement, sir, by saying, I will in fact pay you. And if you tell me that you put a check in the mail for $200, that changes the whole complexion of this case. Michael.
Yes.
So, do you now acknowledge that you owe your mother the money for the car?
As you said, there was no agreement.
The other was Dave Kennedy, such a thing as a non-serious rape. I know what bit of the interview you're taking. I tried to explain to people why different sentences are given differently. Because the interviewer believes that the sentences are rape were much simpler than they actually are.
There are many in his own party who already think Ken Clark is too soft on crime. That view would have been Richard, what do you use?
Ken Clark's initial remark came as he was being interviewed about proposals to change criminal sentencing for rape in England and Wales. The review is considering so-called plea bargaining for rapists, whereby they could be offered lesser jail terms if they confess. One victim told ITV News today the government has scrapped that idea. So to our political correspondent, Alice Morris.
Ever since she was raped, Claire Chong has been trying to rebuild her life. The former GP from Kent, who has agreed to waive her anonymity, says she's lost everything following the attack 4 years ago.
I became physically unwell.
I can see.
Lost my job, my marriage, then became homeless. These are coming back together again now, slowly, but it's destroyed my soul.
Dr. Chung's attacker had been released from prison just a day before he raped her. Stephen Allen Gale has been serving a sentence for another sexual assault. He's currently in jail for 5 years, having had his sentence cut by a third. He doesn't think any rapist deserves a reduction, and certainly not by half.
I don't think it's possible at all to be able to rehabilitate a rapist in the time that Ken Clark's been discussing.
Securing rape convictions in the UK has become an embarrassing statistic. Around 60,000 women are raped every year, the majority by male partners they know. Only 1 in 10 report it to the police. Of those cases, fewer than 7% result in a conviction. For those working to support victims of rape at this London centre, the government plans to halve prison sentences for those who plead guilty are misplaced. What they're proposing in reducing sentences for rapists is a green light to go ahead and rape again. And many rapists do rape over and over again. They have to be stopped. The man who raped Claire Chong could be released from prison as soon as next year. She's dreading it and hopes the Justice Secretary is listening. Alex Forrest, ITV News.
Well, I've just noticed my brother was in Justice this evening. So, Tom, just how damaged is Mr. Clark this evening?
I think if you look at the guidebook for male politicians, Volume 1, Book 1, Sentence 1, it probably says avoid a discussion, if at all possible, ever, a very sensitive subject like rape, and if you do, be very, very, very careful exactly what you say. Mr. Clark clearly wasn't raped, and that's why he's in so much hot water. The lady who appeared on the same, the great victim who appeared on the same radio show to talk about her ordeal, to say he was sorry if his remarks were interpreted. But the trouble I think he's got is a lot of the right-wing press, a lot of story press doesn't like him anyway, but quite like to see him out. So he is clearly still going to feel the heat from all quarters. So I think the really relevant point is about this is really not about popular today. So I think the point is that the policy is unpopular, not just his remarks. I think another example, I'm afraid, is the government being over here and the people being somewhere else.
Tom, thank you very much. Essex Police will speak to key individuals over claims the Energy Secretary, Chris Huhne, tried to avoid punishment for speeding. Officers are trying to establish whether any offence was committed. The inquiry follows reports Mr. Huhne asked his estranged wife, Vicky Price, to accept penalty points on his behalf.
And ITV News understands the Metropolitan Police are preparing to launch an inquiry into the expensive claims of former Lib Dem Cabinet Minister David Law.
Two suspects are to go on trial for the racist murder of Stephen Lawrence 18 years ago. Gary Dalton had previously been charged with crime and acquitted. David Norris will stand trial for the first time. Stephen's mother said today she hoped she would finally get justice for her son. Our UK editor Keir Simmons reports.
Doreen Lawrence left court today, having heard her son Stephen described as a young black man of great promise, killed simply because of the colour of his skin. It is 18 years since her 18-year-old son was murdered.
I really think about a judgment happened this morning. It's been a long time in coming, but we still have a long way to go. And so at this moment in time, all I can think about is Stephen. And that perhaps somewhere down the line we will finally get justice for him.
Two men are now accused of killing him after new scientific evidence emerged and is said to closely link Gary Dalton to the attack. He was acquitted of the murder in 1996. David Norris is also charged. Both men were arrested last September, but the allegations could not be reported for legal reasons. Stephen Lawrence was stabbed near this bus stop in Eltham. He managed to run for 130 yards before he collapsed. After almost 20 years, no one has been convicted of his killing. Yet such was the impact on his family and the wider community that flowers are still left by the memorial to him. In court, his parents heard how Stephen was waiting peacefully for a bus when he was attacked by a group of white students using racist language. Afterwards, a statement from his father was read by a solicitor.
Was that there?
Stephen's parents will return to court in November when that trial is set to begin. At the end of the hearing, the judge, the Lord Chief Justice, thanked them for coming, having described what happened to their son as a truly calamitous crime. Keir Simmons, ITV News, the Court of Appeal.
The policeman blinded by Raoul Moat challenged the Home Secretary today over cuts to the police budget. David Rathband asked Theresa May if she believed his salary, £35,000, was too much. From Bournemouth, Sally Biddulph reports.
Come on.
He arrived to muffle the applause that left him unappalled as the silent session falls. The Home Secretary faced disenchanted rank and file officers today and difficult questions about police budget cuts of up to 20%. The most uncomfortable question coming from CC David Rathband, blinded by Raoul Moat last year.
I'd like to ask you, Home Secretary, I was paid £35,000 last year. Do you think I'm paid too much?
There was no direct response to his question, just an explanation of why cuts had to happen.
We have just been through the gravest financial crisis since the Second World War. We now face the biggest budget deficit in our peacetime history. We have a deficit higher than Portugal, as they've had to go cap in hand to the EU for a bailout.
But the officers had heard it all before.
Good girl.
They say police cuts are deeper than
Feeding
other
her.
departments and aren't fair.
Well, Secretary, we're in the forefront of this fight against terrorism. We're in the forefront of keeping our community safe. And yet we see what
Good girl.
we see by most of us
Yeah.
attacks on the people. We don't understand why.
The Home Secretary knew she always faced a challenge addressing this police conference, but the reception she received here wasn't even lukewarm. On
Look at me, you're there, isn't it?
Time and again today that she simply didn't listen. And they warn that the severity of cuts to their budgets won't only affect their pay and conditions, but they say it will lead to increased crime. And if you were in any doubt about the strength of public feeling, this got a standing ovation.
You see.
Come on, program including
You do?
Mind the Pint, but there's a Queen hater set of the black stuff.
Sure enough. And shared memories. Henry Cooper's close friends paid tribute.
Are you baby girl? Enjoy mouse, did you? Good girl. So nice. Good baby. Yeah, you settled in with him.